Focus on 3 things you can see in the room. Focus on 3 things you can smell. Focus on 3 things you can touch. And that is a very effective calming technique where anxiety is concerned. There are people that live with extreme anxiety disorder that would probably need cognitive behavioral tests, to go through their sessions. But at basic mild anxiety, we just tell you to focus on the now. There's a reason we're asking you to focus on the now. The reason we'll tell a client or a patient to focus on the now is because it's easy to get swayed into the depth of worry. You're just scared of the unknown. That is what anxiety is. But when you're able to focus on the now, it leads you to the past. And then you check, oh, these things have happened. I didn't die. It wasn't the end of my life. It wasn't the end of the road. And that's why when I mentioned the scripture, Philippians 4:6-7, it says, do not be anxious for nothing, but in every situation by prayer and supplications with thanksgiving. There's a reason thanksgiving was infused in that scripture, because when you're able to intentionally count your blessings one after the other, it brings your heart to a point of faith, unshaken faith, where you know, has God ever failed? No. Has He said it? Yes. As believers, it's very, very possible to have your mind in turmoil. It's just rolling and rolling, and you feel out of shape, you feel out of place, you feel out of control. Let me give this practical example. Maybe all of us can relate. There was a time in our life where we had no worries. We were babies. In fact, even as babies, I feel like when babies cry, they are worried, like, oh, you're leaving me, you've left me. Where is my mommy? I need to feed, I need to do this, and then they cry. For you to understand how basic as humans we worry about the very little things. I consciously tell my 2-year-old daughter that, has mommy not said this? I should be like, yeah, will mommy not do it? There's just that fear of, don't take away what's mine. If you take away what's mine, how am I going to survive? As little as 2-year-old. You see a cycle. There was a time in our lives where you feel that, after I finish nursery, I just want to finish my exams in nursery and then I can rest. You get into primary school and you realize, okay, if I can just pass my common entrance, and then you're worried about common entrance. You go into secondary school or high school, you realize that, you have to do WAEC to go into the university. You finish WAEC, you realize you have to do JAMB. You're worried about JAMB. You're worried about WAEC. At this point in your life, you're not even worried about what you're going to use because you feel like your parents will provide, right? But the worry is, you can see that it goes in a cycle. You finish your university, you're like, okay, what's going to happen? I have to do NYSC. I have to go for a job. If I'm not doing this, it feels like my life is stagnant. It feels like I'm not moving. And then you finish, you get a job. You finish your NYSC, you get a job. If I can just make 1 million naira, I'm a soft babe. I have a soft life. So you just get to realize that, okay, the target you give yourself, you keep shifting the posts, because when you get into that point of worry,